Introduce himself or herself to our audience. You'll have 1 minute first to you, Senator Paul.
The question is, how do we keep America safe from terrorism? Trump says we ought to close that internet thing. The question really is, what does he mean by that? Like they do in North Korea? Like they do in China?
Is this the best we got? Is this really save our nation?
Clowns. All of them.
I expect more out of the men and women who run for president of the United States.
I would appreciate a debate of policies that are actually important to our nation.
Yes, please. If I hear any more discussions about affordable health care, unemployment, gun control laws,
Access to higher education, economic disparity, immigration policies.
wah, 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 wah. Something isn't right.
That's right, kids. None of the candidates are talking about the most important issue facing our nation. Do you know what that is?
Love.
Love. Love. And
Making Valentine's Day a national holiday.
a real holiday. No school, no work. Just like all the other holidays. But even better with hugs and snuggles. And sweets and treats.
Valentine's Day cards and family video productions.
Now that would be a true revolution. Equal rights for Valentine's Day.
But how do you make Valentine's Day a real holiday?
Well, you kids are smart. What does it take to bring about change in a democracy?
Get out and vote. Think global, vote local.
Volunteer for a candidate you believe in.
No, sillies. You don't vote your way to change. You buy change.
Speaking of change, I think we've got some fundraising to do.
He owns a corporation, he likes to make campaign donations. His friend Lou is running for president, but losing last place cause his money's all spent. Now John's a millionaire and he'd love to help. If he could, he'd bankroll the campaign himself. But there's a limit on spending and it's next to nothing. It's barely enough to cover campaign budgets. But the courts changed the rules in 2010. Now there's no limit to what corporations can spend, as long as candidates and donors don't coordinate. But they're vague on what they mean by coordinate. So John knows a friend of Lou's, who has a super PAC called Freedom Rules. John hands them $1 million in cash. Now Lou's in first place because of super PAC ads.
Super PACs and politics and spending is ferocious, but super PACs are here to stay. Expect a lot of dough. Rich cash, start a PAC, just like Carl Rubin. Give me all your money, and let's not talk about it.
John and Lou may not want to tell the nation that the campaign's sponsored by a corporation, so they started a non-profit type of 501c that can also raise funds unlimitedly. But they don't have to say where the cash comes from, that's called dark money. Don't act so stunned, but non-profits can't support politics only, so they print a few pamphlets and they won't look phony. And there's another way donors can cover the tracks. Have your non-profit donate to your super PAC. So if you're ever grilled by the FEC, just tell them that the money is a mystery. So to recap, a PAC can raise certain amounts. A super PAC can raise as much as it can count. The money's dark if super PACs and non-profits work together. You can vote with a ballot, but a checkbook works better.
Super PACs and politics and spending is ferocious, but super PACs are here to stay. Expect a lot of dough. Rich cash, start a PAC, just like Carl Rubin. And give me all your money, but let's not talk about it.
For candidates to win the race, it takes a lot of dough. But super PACs take care of that. Just act like you don't know. Let super PACs talk all the smack, pretend it makes you sick. But don't forget who gave you money when you're leader of this country. That's just politics.
This is not the time to back down. This is not just our fight. This is the fight for every man, woman, and child on this planet.
What exactly are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for? Where have you been, Cora? We just raised $200 million for our Love Now Super PAC to change whatever we want about this country. And we are not stopping until Valentine's Day is an official U.S. holiday.
We get days off for holidays, for wars, for labor, turkeys, fireworks displays. Why can't Cupid get his day in the sun? What's more important than love?
That's right. And also, why does Santa Claus get his own day? That's actually a religious holiday. Christmas is about the birth of Jesus.
Well, anyway, we don't need to take away holidays. We need to take holidays. We need to take back love. We need to take our message forward We need to fight for love.
The presidential election is less than 9 months away. Now is the time. This is our moment. We are Americans. We can buy whatever we want.
I see a big old price tag on the Oval Office. Give me a holiday, I'll buy you the keys.
Love now!
So what's the plan?
We talk to every presidential candidate that has half a chance. With our $200 million super PAC, we will determine the next president of the United States. We are kingmakers.
Queenmakers, too.
We talk to them all. Find out who is the true believer, who believes in love, who is willing to campaign for Valentine's Day as a national holiday, a true holiday of all the rights and liberties that our founding forefathers and foremothers intended for us to have when they established this great nation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal.
That they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of love. Or something like that. So we are just going to talk to the candidates?
No. We are going to push. The candidates are going to talk.
They'll talk all right. They'll talk until they're green in the face.
So, Mr. Trump, I'm trying to get us back to the topic that is important to our Super PAC. If you want our support, we need to understand how you feel about the importance of Valentine's Day for our nation.
I don't care. It's an old subject. I'm about jobs. I'm about security. I'm about fixing the military. I'm about taking care of our vets. I'm about things that you don't have to bring up old subject. What I'm doing is for the country. I want to make America great again.
Old subjects? If that's how you feel, I think our interview is done, Mr. Trump. Thank you for your time.
Senator Cruz, we really want to understand what you believe in. What are you willing to fight for? Will you fight for love?
One of the things I talk about in the book, A Time for Truth, is fighting to defend religious liberty. For me, religious liberty isn't some newfound campaign theme. I've spent 2 decades, over and over again, we fought and defended religious liberty and won. We defended the 10 Commandments and won. We defended the Pledge of Allegiance and won.
So we've heard that from you 5 times now. And I've got you down for religious liberty, the 10 Commandments, and the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't hear Valentine's Day in that little list of yours. It's not in your book either. I think that's a wrap. Thank you for your time.
Senator Sanders, I want to feel the burn. Do you believe that love can make a better world?
And I don't think there's any country in the world which believes in that. You have an obligation, in my view, to do everything we can to help poor people.
But isn't love the best tool to eradicate poverty? Can't love change the world? And why can't the United States lead? If we make Valentine's Day a national holiday, the entire nation can spend the whole day writing cards and sending candies. Isn't that the best way to end poverty?
I don't believe in that. I think we have to raise wages in this country. I think we have to do everything that we can to create the millions of jobs. You know what youth unemployment in the United States of America today?
Actually, I don't know, but I do know that it's time to end this conversation. Thank you for your time, Senator Sanders.
Senator Rubio, you've said repeatedly that love is a luxury our nation can't afford. You do realize that we have an enormous treasure chest of funds to support your election if you will commit to Valentine's Day as a national holiday. You've changed positions many times before. What exactly is your criteria for flip-flopping?
I think the best way to do it is know what you stand for. This is what I'm for, this is what we're going to do, and quite frankly, you do it irrespective of whether someone donated money to your campaign or not. And that's just the way I've always governed myself. I have never allowed financing issues in a campaign to determine where I stand on an issue.
Bravo, Mr. Eagle Scout. Aren't you the model politician? We're done.
Miss Clinton, why are you afraid to embrace love? If Valentine's Day was a national holiday, you could spend the day writing thoughtful love letters to both our allies and enemies. Letters to Putin, Assad, ISIS, spreading peace and prosperity through unfiltered expressions of your love and hope.
The President of the United States does have to be careful about what he or she says. You know, I do know sometimes people say, well, I'm careful about what I say. That's because I'm going to conduct myself as I believe is appropriate for someone seeking the highest office in our country.
Well, if appropriate means not having the courage or leadership to express love, I think our interview is done.
Hey, TV. How was the interview with Mr. Trump?
What? Good.
Hey, Nico. How was your interview?
Awful.
Atrocious.
What's worse than atrocious?
Hey, so why are we meeting in the Oval Office?
Oh, Barack said we could use his office, and I figured it was easier than trying to get a private room at the Capitol building.
Power up the super PAC.
Nice curtains in here.
So what are we going to do? We've got this mountain of corporate cash and a responsibility to select the new president.
Let the voters decide.
Well, technically, yes.
And none of them are worthy of our support.
Comfy chairs.
So, who are we going to buy for president?
These chairs are comfortable.
Is this the menu for room service? Not bad.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
But we can't run for president and run the super PAC. Remember, we can't collaborate with the candidate.
Unless
the new president passes a new law.
I think this is going to be a great Valentine's Day.
DiFieldo for president.
Yes!